if you've been living abroad for years and you're like in your 30s or 40s, there might be a question popping up in your head. Where should I retire? And that's what we've been asking ourselves recently, actually.
After checking
What
is the state pension in UK.
After checking what is the state pension in UK. So today we want to discuss it. Obviously, we're from Poland, so we want to compare various factors retiring in UK versus retiring in Poland. So let's dig into it. One thing that you need to remember is that living abroad, you might not necessarily qualify for full state pension, either in Poland or in UK. It all depends how long have you worked in each country. So that's the factor that you also need to consider. So we just checked. In UK, you have a state pension, which is the pension that everyone gets, basing on how long you've been working here. So the full UK pension at the moment is over £12,000
per year.
And in UK, if you're working, you also have a private pension where you, both yourself and your employer, are contributing. And that depending on various factors. So you will always have your base of 12,000 plus at the moment, but it grows every couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have the minimum of 12,000 plus extra from our private pensions. When it comes to Poland,
I think in Poland it's slightly less. Again, it depends how many years you've worked
and how much you contributed, etc. So I think when I was checking, on average, when you would put it in pounds, it's going to be around £6,000, more like 30,000 zloty a year.
Right.
So when it comes to the money itself, we're looking £12,000 versus £6,000 in Poland per year, approximately. So clear winner in here is UK. But let's just see how quickly the money disappears.
Oh, here they disappeared instantly. And we have to look into rent or mortgage or bills, including grocery and any household bills. I think they are really, really high here in UK.
Yeah, it is. It is extremely high.
I think it must be around maybe £2,000 for like an average family to pay all the bills.
Yeah, I think and it mortgage. Would be and mortgage, because like nowadays we like whatever you're renting or you have a mortgage, it's gonna be approximately, I would say, £1,000 if you're gonna do just like approx. Again, depends on the city and everything.
In Poland, if you are renting an apartment or house in a big city, capital city or seaside or somewhere else, then it will be definitely way more expensive. But if you rent a property in regular city, then it's way cheaper.
Then it's way cheaper.
And as well, there is a lot of apartments to rent, which are cheaper. So houses are always more expensive. But if you rent an apartment, which is definitely cheaper, I would say maybe £400 approx, small flat.
And the thing is, I think in Poland, especially in the bigger cities, the public transport is so much more accessible. You have so much more of it than in UK.
Absolutely.
So that makes it a bit easier for you if you don't want to be spending extra money on a car or anything like that.
You don't need a car. Generally speaking, if you live in the city, you do not need a car.
Yeah, the transport.
You will get a bus, you will get a tram, and you've got variety of buses.
In my city, you even have an overground.
Yes, but the difference is that if you catch a bus and if you will go on a bus stop, you will find at least 3-4 buses or trams which are going direction where you want to go. They might have different routes, but definitely they will get where you want to get.
Yeah.
You know, like
Ubers are so,
so cheap.
Once I got not Uber, a Bolt, because Bolt is a bit more popular, especially in my city, but it's more or less the same thing. And I think we're driving for like 30 minutes. So it was quite a long drive, and we spent £4.
Yes, seriously, I was in Uber and I was traveling so far. I was like, no, you can't get taxi. I'm like, yeah, why not? And I paid like 10 quid.
Yeah.
Seriously, the taxi is so cheaper.
In here, I just go to her. Evelina lives like 10-minute drive from me, 10-15 minutes. It's a minimum tenner every single time, minimum £10.
Yes, if you would push it, sometimes you even walk.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's super far.
Yeah, it's just insane.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to overall spending, Poland wins, especially when you live in a UK salary.
That's what it makes things cheaper. Because if you would live actually in Poland and maybe earn in Poland, then things doesn't seem so cheap.
Yeah.
Especially that we have our own currency. It's not a pound or euro.
The healthcare is much cheaper in Poland. Private healthcare is much cheaper in Poland.
I would say it's probably 5 times cheaper, even sometimes if you go, because I think our Polish NHS is very much similar what it is in UK.
Yeah,
so
it's quite same.
long waiting lists. Sometimes it's hard to get to specialists, but you can always go private. But the prices, if you go private, are definitely way, way cheaper. So if something, let's say in comparison, if a medical service cost here £200, in Poland it will cost you £50. That's the comparison.
Yeah, it is. And also, I like my personal opinion, not only mine, a lot of services have such a better quality, especially dentists. Dentists in Poland are so, not every single one, and like again in UK there's probably hundreds of good dentists,
because the dentist which I use here, it's literally mirrored where I go in Poland as well, but everything is literally 5 times cheaper.
So that's a plus. That's a plus. And when you're older, you need to maintain your teeth.
That's why we are famous for that. When we go Poland, first, where do you go? Hairdresser, dentist, GP. You just check yourself wherever you can check, there, because it's definitely way cheaper.
So in this category, the winner is definitely Poland.
And then you have to think about just, well-being.
Safety. I would say how you feel, where you feel safer. Like me, and it's not even that I'm biased, that obviously I grew up in Poland, so maybe I have some sort of sentiment to it. Like even looking at the crimes, the knife crimes in UK, and like overall, like we literally saw in the news, like the body being found in our city. It's like, I don't remember that many bad news being broadcasted in Poland all the time. There are bad things happening, but when I look at the stats,
I think generally speaking, it's safer when you're walking down the streets, when you are walking in the evenings. I think I feel like you have the
safer feeling. So
you've got patrols as well on the streets.
Yes, you do have like a city police sort of
city police, and they drive around and do some kind of.
Because we have a police, and police is obviously for like proper cases, but we also have someone, I would say, lower in a rank, which is like a Straż Miejska, which is like a city police, and they're more like for minor
security, and they just drive around and they look what's going on. Everything is fine, but definitely it is. And in Poland we've got slightly different rules. So you've got only designated areas where you can drink alcohol. So you cannot just walking down the street and drink alcohol.
You're gonna get a ticket if you would.
Because you will get a fine. Somebody will stop you. So that there are some, I think this is
measures in place.
Yes, maybe that's what makes cities safer as well. That you only drink, let's say, in the pub or in the designated area around the pub, but you can't really sit on a bus stop with a bottle of vodka, because you will be stopped, you will be checked. Another thing, different one, which is in Poland, which maybe makes things safer, you need to have ID with you all the time. So here you can walk just like that. If someone stops you, what's your name? You'll just tell them name. But in Poland, you need to have your ID. So if you are stopped by police or some other security services, you need to be able to tell what's your ID, who are you, and you need to provide a proof of address, which is on the, driving license, your ID, passport, or anything else. So you need to have some identification with you.
Weather. However, this is controversial because that depends on person's preferences. How would you describe UK weather?
I mean, the weather is the same all year. It's grey, it's a lot of rain, and the weather just seems the same.
Even in winter. Winter is just a little bit colder, but you don't really have snow.
No, you can't really distinguish that, it's proper spring, proper summer, autumn and winter. I think we've got it just every now and on. But in Poland, you've got 4 seasons. Regardless, you've got 4 seasons, which are almost every year the same.
Our summer is really nice, really warm, like really hot. It's great. Poland in the summer is absolutely great.
Which makes life easier when you want to plan your holidays. And it's not even long holidays. Long holidays will always work out. So if you go mountainside in the winter, you will get snow. If you will go seaside in the summertime, you will have summer. But you can plan short weekend trips as well. So it's not like you get up, look outside the window, it looks sunny, let's make a plan. Actually, you can plan it ahead. That's why you can plan local holidays. You don't really, obviously it's nice to go Spain or somewhere else and see different sea than Baltic, which is not the greatest one in the world, but you can generally plan your holidays in really nice resorts in Poland during summertime.
Even the winters, our winters are colder, that is true, but we have snow more often, so that makes it a bit more, I don't know, cozy and special, like when the snow outside. So again, it depends on the preference. If you don't like cold, and if you're quite happy just constantly being within the same weather, then UK is for you. However, if you would like 4 seasons, if you would like 4 seasons, then I would say Poland is more for you. And I think the final question that you need to ask yourself, where would you feel happier? Because you obviously created a home here. If you've been living in UK for years, you created like friends,
Circle of friends.
You might have some family here, and you obviously have some family in Poland. So where do you think it's better for you?
Yes, I think sometimes you might think, yeah, I'm going back, or I'm moving somewhere, and then suddenly you miss your pubs in UK, which does have really nice environment for people to catch up. Maybe you miss your culture, which you have adjusted to. What can be misleading sometimes as well, that you feel like, yes, I want to move somewhere else, or I want to go back somewhere else. But then the other country is evolving as well.
Yes.
And you as a person, you are evolving, and then it may feel like you will go somewhere and you feel like, oh, I don't belong there anymore. I don't really feel happier there. And as well, if you are allowed to stay in a foreign country for a longer period of time.
Yes.
Because it depends on the regulations as well. Can you actually relocate?
That is very true.
Or do you need visa, or do you need anything else to stay longer?
Yeah, that is actually true. So what do you think? What's the better retirement plan for you? Do you think maybe moving abroad? Do you think maybe moving to Poland? Do you think staying in UK?
Half-half.
Half-half. Tell us in the comments, and we'll see you in the next episode.